The Museum of the American Revolution is the non-partisan, non-profit 501 organization that is building a museum to tell the complete story of the American Revolution. The museum will open to the public on April 19, 2017. Overview. The museum owns a distinguished collection of several thousand objects including artwork and sculpture, textiles and weapons, manuscripts and rare books, permanent and special exhibition galleries, theaters and large-scale tableaus will bring to life the original greatest generation, and engage people in the history and continuing relevance of the American Revolution. The museum expects to serve 500,000 tourists, regional visitors and students annually. It will serve as a portal to Philadelphia's other revolutionary landmarks, enriching the existing heritage community and making Philadelphia an engaging and authentic destination for those interested in discovering America's founding. The president and CEO is Michael C. Quinn, and Philadelphia area media entrepreneur and philanthropist H.F. Jerry Lenfest serves as chairman of the board of directors. Location. The museum will be located in the historic heart of Philadelphia, the city that served as the headquarters of America's founding. The site is across the street from the First Bank of the United States and 2 blocks from Independence Hall, the National Constitution Center, Second Bank of the United States, American Philosophical Society, Carpenters Hall, and the Liberty Bell. Design and construction. On June 12, 2012, architect Robert A. M. Stern unveiled designs for the permanent location. Groundbreaking for the museum occurred in fall 2014 and construction is underway. The museum will rise 3 stories above the street and, with a full basement, will encompass 118,000 total square feet. The design plans for the building include a museum shop and cafe which opens to the sidewalk. The first floor interior is organized around a skylit central interior court and features a cross-vaulted ticketing lobby, a multi-use theater and a changing exhibition gallery. The second floor features 18,000 square feet of galleries and a theater dedicated to the exhibition of George Washington's Marquee tent. The museum's third floor is designed to offer rooms for events and 2 terraces overlooking the First Bank of the United States, Independence National Historical Park, and the Philadelphia skyline beyond. The museum intends to seek leadership in energy and environmental design silver certification. The museum plans to open in 2017. Outdoor Plaza. The museum's outdoor plaza will open on the 25th of September 2016. It will be accessible to both museum visitors and to passers-by, and feature dramatic installations of Revolutionary War artifacts, bronze sculpture, shaded seating, and, once the museum building opens, seasonal cafe seating. Exhibits. Visitors follow a chronological journey from the roots of conflict in the 1760s to the rise of armed resistance, the Declaration of Independence of 1776 through the final years of the war. Visitors will see the diversity of Revolutionary-era Americans and their opinions, for example by viewing an Oneida Indian Council House, and the 1773 volume, Poems on Various Subjects by Phyllis Wheatley, America's first published black female poet. One gallery features a full-scale replica of Boston's Liberty Tree, the recreation of an Oneida Indian Council House, the Battlefield Theater, a recreation of Independence Hall, and a large model of an 18th-century privateer ship. A dedicated theater will house one of the most iconic surviving artifacts of the Revolution, General Washington's headquarters tent, which served as both his office and sleeping quarters throughout much of the war. The museum's Director of Collections and Exhibitions, Dr. R. Scott Stevenson, is working with a team of of specialists to develop more than 32,000 square feet of exhibits and theaters, plus integrated educational space. He holds an MA and Ph.D. in American history from the University of Virginia. Dr. Stevenson is a specialist in colonial and revolutionary American history and material culture, with a background in visual storytelling. Also supporting the exhibition process is Dr. Philip C. Mead. He holds an MA and Ph.D. in American history from Harvard University. Other historians who have been consulted on the project include Richard Beeman, Vincent Brown, Thomas Chavez, Thomas Fleming, James Hattendorf, Don Higginbotham, Pauline Mayer, Holly Mayer, Thomas Maguire, David McCulloch, Gary Nash, Ray Raphael, Matthew Spooner, Laurel Ulrich, and Gordon Wood. Collection. The Museum of the American Revolution has a rich collection of several thousand objects. The museum's collection includes items owned and used by General George Washington during the War of Independence, an extensive collection of historic firearms and edged weapons, important art, important manuscripts, and rare books. Much of the collection is in storage awaiting display in the Museum of the American Revolution. Some items have been displayed at George Washington's Mount Vernon Valley Forge National Historical Park, the National Constitution Center, the Winterthur Museum, the Senator John Heinz History Center, and the North Carolina Museum of History. Highlights include George Washington's tent, silver camp cups from Washington's field equipment, wartime correspondence and books from Washington's library, the 13-star flag known as the Commander-in-Chief's Standard, the fowling piece carried by Captain David Brown, leader of a company of Minutemen from Concord, Massachusetts, and a British military musket carried by a soldier of the 4th Regiment of Foot, both of whom participated in the First Battle of the War of Independence, April 19, 1775. A dreadful scene of havoc. Xavier Delegata's painting of the Battle of Paoli. The Battle of Germantown, by Xavier Delegata. William B. T. Trego's iconic 1883 painting The March to Valley Forge. Soldiers' letters and orderly books, as well as volumes owned by Patrick Henry, George Mason and other founders. Volume of Ancient Roman History by the author and historian Livy, owned by George Mason. A copy of the first newspaper printing of the Declaration of Independence, printed by the Pennsylvania Evening Post on July 6, 1776. British plan of the Battle of Brandywine. Hessian headgear. Selections from the collection. Awards. In 2012, the museum received the Muse Award from the American Alliance of Museums in the category of mobile applications, recognizing the museum's American Revolution interactive timeline iPad